I was about 6 years old when I witnessed the bloody snake monster explode from the chest of Executive Officer Kane. And that's when my obsession with the franchise began. H.R. Giger must have been quite a disturbed, beautiful genius when he conjured up that nightmare fuel. The biomechanics and the darkly sexual design would haunt moviegoers until August 12, 2025. That's when the twisted, bloodthirsty monster bent on murder became a fucking pet. We didn't get the alien from the original film. We got an obedient xenomorph lapdog with infinite hearing range and for some reason, kinda shit brown color. Okay, well let's get on with it. So after 5 episodes of Alien Earth spiraling into the abyss of ridiculous contrivances, characters that go full retard,
how dare you,
and a director that takes all the fun and horror out of this franchise of almost 50 years, Alien Earth goes down not with a bang, but with a whimper. The Fly, Rian Johnson's the shit out of the critically acclaimed and financially lucrative story of Dan O'Bannon. It tries to shoehorn pseudo-intellectual, pretentious concepts into what once was a perfectly good horror thriller turned space action adventure, while sprinkling forced tension so that no one earns a damn thing or learns any lessons. Oh, and there's a xenomorph in it too. But you might forget every once in a while, and it sure as hell ain't the one you remember. Don't worry, I'll get to that shortly. This episode is called The Fly, because I guess it's supposed to evoke feelings of helplessness, you know, like a spider lays a trap for a fly.
But it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
But who is this spider and who's the fly? We begin by getting something I never wanted to see, an adolescent alien. Gone is the obsidian-colored, elongated head dome, because everybody wants to see a cross between Joy Reid and Dobie. And who had the idea that it would be endearing to see a teenage Xeno? Teenagers are assholes. Why do we want to see them at this stage of development? Don't know. This is the worst possible portrayal of this creature. Like a zoo animal. It basically has no balls. It's a neutered puppy that can communicate with Wendy as she visits it daily. How does she do it? Don't know. Nobody even cares that Wendy's chatting it up. And don't give me this bullshit excuse that Boy Cavalier has some fiendish master plan.
I'm pretty sure.
Because the showrunners aren't that intelligent, and it does everything to justify the ridiculous decisions it makes. Alien isn't an allegory for respecting nature or protecting endangered species.
What the fuck is wrong with that thing?
And that's what Noah Hawley gets wrong. It has more to do with how we deal with it than how we treat it. And like nature, it's always trying to kill us. Visit the Amazon rainforest and spend a night. My Little Ponies and Care Bears don't live there. Next, beta scientist is fired for being unwilling to erase GMF's memories, and they just give him until the end of the day to leave the island. They don't have security escort him out, since there's all that privileged tech and experimentation going on the island. They just let him fuck off and hope he leaves without sabotaging the facilities or taking privileged information. There isn't any explanation as to why they decide to let him take his time and collect his things at his leisure. And based on some of Noah Hawley's comments, the show really didn't even have a plan. There's too many assumptions that the audience has to make and too many mistakes that are brushed off as, oh, the kids are just kids. No, you twat. They're supercomputers in mech suits with no accountability and no supervision, erasing GMF's memories and allowing the others to interact with her with absolutely no prep, plan, or safeguards for the outcome is just idiotic. And Dr. Evil Robot Xavier thinks, nah, it'll be fine. What could go wrong? Lastly, retard Synth of Color is allowed to feed the specimens alone and bumbles into the creature cages that apparently aren't being surveyed and have less than zero safeguards because the writers can only put creatures in easily escapable circumstances that rely on characters that are incompetent, unaware of their surroundings, or have IQs slightly higher than the director.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
He of course bumbles the simple task of feeding the specimens, and the winged metal muncher jizzes on him, melting his face.
In porno, we call this the money shot.
Not sure what the show's trying to tell us there. By now the franchise has become Jason Takes Manhattan, and all the budget in the world isn't going to bring it back on track. It needs a great director that can deal with studio politics, appreciate source material, and wants to expand the lore with respect. Not a guy who treats the humans as the real monsters and Xenos as misunderstood pets. Well, I might not finish this series after all, and if you watch the rest,
You have my sympathies.
well, let me know if you want more of these, and as always, keep watching movies.